What happens when your research shifts from public spaces to virtual spaces? We're going to talk about that right now. Hey everybody, I'm Leigh Hall from teachingacademia.com, and I'm all about giving you the tools you need to navigate academia and make your best impact. Today, I want to share with you a question that I recently received via email about what it means when we're transitioning from doing research in places where we used to be face-to-face and out in public, and now we have to go virtual. So let's take a look at this question. Like you, I will be conducting my research in now virtual classrooms. Just wanted your thoughts on this as it pertains to confidentiality. I will be conducting research at a charter school, and I want to video record my interviews. The school uses Zoom and maintains audio recordings for 7 days of everything. I don't want them to have access to these interviews as I don't want to break confidentiality, and I would rather use a different platform to conduct my research during this pandemic. So let's talk about this, and I'm going to share with you some things that I wrote back to this individual. So the first recommendation that I'm making here, if you're concerned about confidentiality as it relates to technology and data collection, right? Because in this particular example, right, this person, the school wants her to do it over Zoom, but the school's going to maintain, right, these audio recordings, and you definitely don't want the school to have access to that, right? That would definitely not be good in terms of confidentiality. So I first recommended that she reach out to the university's IRB office, right? And ask for a consultation, ask to speak to somebody, because I think in these times right now, if you are uncertain about how to go about doing your research, and you haven't yet, even if you have an approved IRB, but now things are being modified, you may need to go back and have a second look at it and redo it. Or if you're getting ready to put an IRB in and you're not really sure about some of the methods that you're proposing, reach out to them and ask for a consult. See what they recommend, see what they think they would be comfortable with approving, okay? And in instances like the one here where the school has a Zoom account, I know this particular person really doesn't want to use Zoom, but if your university has a Zoom account, use that one, okay? See if you can use that one and not the one done by a school, used by a school or another outside entity, right? For the very reasons that were cited here, right? You maintain control of that. I mean, obviously it's housed within the university, but it's still protected within the university. People outside the university, particularly in this example, are not going to be able to access those interviews and hear what people had to say, okay? So I've been able to conduct interviews that way pre-pandemic using Zoom, through using my university Zoom account, and that was fine. So I think here, right, the question is the school going to let you use an outside Zoom account, right, or any other platform like that? All right, now, the other thing that I did a long time ago, pre-pandemic, that could work really well here, was I used a chat feature. So a long time ago, I did some research where part of it involved me interviewing people that lived all around the world in just all kinds of time zones. And they were also, a portion of them were under the age of 18. And I needed to interview them, but because they lived all around the world, I wasn't going to be meeting them in face to face, right? So I also didn't want to go through the hurdles of doing video. There was no need for me to do video. So if you're thinking about video right now, think about, why do I need video? Is there a legitimate argument that I can make for video? Because, excuse me, if there's not, then just go with audio, okay? If, right, really all you need is the conversation, right, you can go with some kind of a chat feature, which removes audio and video and leaves you with a nice transcript. So what I did years and years ago was I used Today's Meet, and sadly, Today's Meet is no more. It's been no more for, I think, several years now. But it really worked well for this because I didn't have to get permission on people, on minors for video. I didn't have to get permission for audio. I only had to get permission to engage with them in a chat room, okay? And so we were able to meet live, but I never saw anyone's face. I never recorded anyone's face. And then, lucky me, I had a transcript of the whole thing. So I didn't have to transcribe anything or pay somebody to transcribe for me, which was really nice. So I would recommend searching for back channel options. And I haven't used the back channel in a while for research, so all I know is today's meet is no longer. But I would consider looking for some kind of back channel or chat option that would allow you to accomplish this same objective. The other thing that I thought about in relation to this was you can also treat it like a podcast, okay? So if you don't find a good back channel option, or you just don't want to do that, if you want to have a more interactive conversation, like, talking to somebody, at least if not face-to-face, then voice-to-voice as opposed to typing, you could treat it like a podcast and look for podcast apps that, are going to allow you to have guests on. I don't do podcasts, so I'm not super up on that, but I know it's not that challenging to find. I've been on other people's podcasts. And then again, you're removing that need to record anyone's face, all right? So it gets back to, when you're doing this kind of work, how important video recording is. And if you cannot make a legitimate case for needing to video record it, then let it go. And I would suggest audio only, or if you can, use a back channel.